Jason here who wants to know. Please raise your hand if you found out about this through Facebook. You should all be ashamed of yourself.
Absolutely.
And we bought leaflets.
Oh, about Margaret's leafleting. Pardon, I can't. By Margaret's leafleting. How many by Margaret's? Oh, sorry. Did anybody come because of the leaflets that we put out? All right, put out. There's your answer, Margaret.
Go get on Facebook.
Anyway, thanks
Okay, thanks very much again for coming. I know there's a few latecomers, so I'm going to do the whole talk again. Just sort of fly through. For those people who arrived late, my message so far is be careful what you think about, be careful what you believe. Sorry, not think about it. Careful what you believe. Beliefs are very dangerous because when you believe one thing, it locks you out of believing other things, and everything's possible. So the point today is it's going to get a lot more optimistic now. That everything is okay. These aren't just empty words. Everything is okay. And everything's in the right place. A boy that turned into a finance idiot and then discovered something called morality. And now I don't do enough. I should do more. But I'm lazy. Like we're all lazy. But I do what I can to try and just fight the bullshit pushed upon us by the different mind control systems, of which religion is one of the main ones. And we can go so far to hear about be careful what you believe in. And when you scratch beneath the surface, you will find many things. And what's, I think, very important at this stage to say is that we've all done really shit things in our life. We've all hurt people, we've all cheated at some point. We've all made mistakes, and I made very big mistakes, but we need to forgive ourselves because ultimately everything is okay, and all the mistakes you made are for a reason. Every single bad thing that ever happened in your life is for a reason as well, and I believe that. As my friend Al says, there's no such things as problems, there are only opportunities. And when you have a lunatic state like Israel doing utter lunacy on the international stage, it gives us the opportunity as human beings to confront it, raise awareness about it, and to show these bullies what real human beings do when evil happens. What I like to say is that, I think it was actually Martin Luther King said this, injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. And that's right, we are all one, but we are all individuals. Like, I am not one with George W. Bush, but he is a facet of me on the overall cosmic scale. So as Margaret said, the Native Americans, the true Americans, they knew, if you hurt nature, if you hurt your fellow man or woman, you are in fact hurting yourself. And the energy you give out is the energy you get back. And I don't just say these empty hippie words. I have personal experience that karma is real, that the energy you put out is the energy you receive. And there's nothing more beautiful than helping other people, than being generous. And a lot of people in our movement, myself included, I'm guilty of this. We talk about love and light, but I don't volunteer 8 hours a week to help old people. I should, and so should we all. So before we say these big words like love and helping other people, we need to ask ourselves what we actually do on a day-to-day basis. But happiness is to be found in helping other people, because there is no difference between the selfishness of helping yourself and helping others, but you can only help yourself through helping others. That's the meaning of life. So we got here, am I evil? Not really evil, it's a little bit. So, what's the point of my talk, apart from saying that everything... Can you guys hear me okay at the back?
Yeah.
Yeah? Apart from telling you that everything is okay, I am an extremist. And funnily enough, I was speaking to a lady who ran to be an MP, and she's got connections in the British police, Metropolitan Police in London. And I am on the domestic extremist list. So it's nice to know they listen, at least. And there was I don't know if you saw this in the papers, I was on the bus trying to get home to Peckham, which is a very cheap ghetto area in London, quite cool. And there was an unexploded World War II bomb that shut down half of South London yesterday. And just by chance, I was there with my camera, did some comedy. And I was filming the people around. I wasn't filming the policeman, but I started trying to engage with them and say, "Can I give you a hug?" And he's like, "Oh." But he goes, "Do I know you?" I said, "Well, yeah, I'm Charlie from the Love Police. Maybe you've seen my films. They involve the police a lot." He goes, "No, I saw you from our intelligence reports at certain protests." And so, yeah, someone's paying attention. So I take it, I'm not scared of it. I take it as an honor that they think that lowly of me to put me on their domestic extremist list. But the point of my talk is to show you that any power over another human being is an error, it's a failure, it goes against the nature of the universe. Whenever you try and impose your view of things onto another human being, failure happens, dysfunction happens, and bad things happen. And what I'm going to try and argue in this part of the talk is that every single human movement since the agricultural revolution, and historians tell us it was 5,000 years ago, could be a lot more, could be 20,000. In the history, we don't know. I mean, the powerful people write history. Is it true? I don't believe it. But I think since we as human beings left our indigenous tribal villages, where there was no need for government, every single move we did then allowed, let's call it Satan or whatever, evil, or the machine mind, the machine-hearted thinking. What the agricultural revolution did, men and women learned that they could domesticate animals, and they turned animals into slaves, and then they could produce things. And I'm actually a failed vegetarian. I'm trying. It's really hard, but I'm trying. My girlfriend's a vegan, so it helps. But the way we treat animals is a reflection of how we feel about ourselves. But what I'm going to try and argue is that everything has been a very useful mistake, and we did it for a reason. And we did the whole of society, the whole of civil society, including slaveries in ancient Egypt and Rome and Greece, all the slavery that exists today, all the machine decimation of the environment. I don't believe all the climate change stuff that we're doing it, but I do know that we are making nature very ugly with plastic, oil, pollution, and we are making the planet very ugly. I think we can agree on that. The Amazon rainforest being cut down for McDonald's burgers. And I'm half Brazilian, it means a lot to me that we have a fucking Amazon that still exists. But all these things we've done, moving away from indigenous cultures, has been an utter mistake. And don't get me wrong, man in the state of nature was just as violent as he is now. The per capita rates of killing were greater in indigenous tribal cultures, because tribes, for whatever reason, women, ego, they love attacking other tribes, but it's human, it's real, it's not slaves, it's free-thinking people colliding and bringing about maybe a Darwinian evolution of ideas. But now, in a world which is structured, we have a manufactured slave order, power has completely corrupted everything. And I'm not going to spend too long on this because you all know it's why you're here. Someone once said I'm preaching to the perverted. What I believe in, and remember I don't believe in anything, is we need to go back to the state of nature. We've learned everything we can learn from technology, science, and from control, and we need to return to nature. And I think the big evidence of that is whenever we get any free time as people, what do? We go straight back to nature. We take holidays in idyllic Caribbean locations so we can be in nature. We want to swim in the coral reefs. We want to be that native human being that we once were. We all hark back for the halcyon days of living at one with nature and not leaving a terrible footprint on the planet. And I am a philosophical anarchist. I don't believe it's ever right for anyone to have any power over another person, ever. And in the state of nature, things would organize themselves. I think communities would self-police. You would not need government, police, taxation, and so forth. So how do we get there?